First of all, thank you very much everyone for turning up, and we've been blessed with a lovely day, and everyone, Helen and Ted, Sue, all the people, Shane who built the wonderful deck you see today, and our neighbour Rod, and our physio connection. So thanks very much for turning up. It's a very casual day. It was more so, and Dr. Larry, who we met on the aeroplane once coming from China back to Australia. We just met him on the plane and he's still hanging out 5 years later. So that's pretty cool. So thanks for turning up and then sharing the day. The whole idea was for the Grandmaster's 93rd birthday, so we're not going there this year. So we've been going regularly 2 or 3 times a year to Hong Kong and China, but this year we thought, well, we just had the party here. So we're filming a little bit. We'll send it back to the people in Hong Kong and people in Russia, and just to show them what we do in Australia, and they'll be very jealous of the sunshine. So mainly the thing with the Wing Chun is just to give you a little bit of a demonstration, nothing too full on, very quick, and then we'll have a meal. But mainly it is Wing Chun it means beautiful springtime, and it's an art that was developed or invented by a female. So it's all about technique and no forcing. So if you have to force anything, don't do it. So it's very much first and foremost connecting with yourself, because that's where the answer does lie. It's in there, it's not out there. So it's very much a meditation. There's a lot of meditation, and there's also a very, because it's a female art, it's very lethal. It's lethal, there's no mucking around. It can kill. So, but we don't focus on that, that's just a byproduct. So, and over the years of doing this art with my Sifu and so forth, I've been very fortunate and have come to appreciate the female a lot more. I have 3 daughters myself. But it's very important to understand as a male, especially with a military background, it's very hard to understand what balance is. So thank you to Mum and all the females out there for sharing this art. So the thing we'll do, we can show maybe Sifu Angela and Fleur, you can pop out next to each other. So you can do the Sul and Tao. So as you're going on, I'll talk. So the system is very, very simple, but very difficult. So this is the first. This form is called the Sul and Tao, which simply means little idea. And this part of the art is the only part that actually focuses on the meditation, and everything is a byproduct of this first section that you see. So the main things that you learn from here is, first and foremost, is focus, and then letting go, which is a big thing in life. It doesn't matter who you are, where you've come from, letting go is a big thing. And just trying to get a bit of a flow of energy. And so you can see there's a bit of wrist energy, a bit of thumb energy, and basically it's similar, as you can see when the hand comes back, as it's Buddhism, it's like a half a prayer. So it is a meditation form, and you're sending some good energy out to someone else or whatever. So it's all about circulation. Now my Sifu is 93 this year, but he's got Parkinson's disease, and I met him 20 years ago, and he used to shake a fair bit. But once you connect with the art with him, he's as solid as a rock. So it's quite amazing with the absorption through the structures and so forth. But there's many facets of the art areas that you might like to work on. This is just the meditation part, and on the Monday morning we go to the park and we just do an hour of just going through and trying to get an idea of balance between the mind, body, soul, and letting things go basically, so you're not carrying unnecessary weight. It's a very simple idea, but it's a very nice flow, and it's, if you're not with someone that you love, you can send out a Sul and Tao like that to someone and then just send it out there, it doesn't matter. So this is the second section of the form where you're learning structures, and we're still not moving any feet, it's just everything that we can use in applications to defend ourselves. So, and as the art evolves, it becomes to a state where you contain the other person rather than strike. So it's about smothering the fire or smothering their aggression, so you don't have to hurt the other person as well. But that's as it evolves. So this is the third section. And as you all would notice, the focus on the ladies, it's very centered, very connected, and it's a very nice, healthy circulation flow of energy, which is very important. Chin off. Nice one. Thank you, ladies. Well done. Well done. All right, we get Sifu Tony, see here Nick, come out, and we get Sifu Pete, you come up at the back, and and see if you can come to the back and just go through the second form. So that was the first form that you saw before. There's only 3 bare hand forms, and this is the second form. Now, the first form, you don't move any feet. You just get the stance and you try to learn to absorb through your stance. So you can stand on one leg, if someone pushes, you can absorb the energy through your structure. So if they go 1 degree off your center line, you can guide it to the side. So it's all about getting your stance first and understand. This is called the Chum Q, and as I said, it's the asking hand. So here we learn some pivoting. We also learn a bit of walking. Just have to watch that for a little while. Okay, thanks mate. Nice of it. Okay, so from there you can see they're doing some pivoting, they're walking. Obviously it's a lot more than what sort of the surface of it is, but that was the second form. And then for the third form, probably just grab, see if you're tone, you can come out and just do the third form on your own. So the third form is, it's now getting at a range where the second form you sort of saw here. So if you ask the hand, so if I'm here and I ask the hand, see if your tone will make contact, so I can try and cover, asking the hand to make the application. This third form is when you're a lot closer range than this. So for the third form, the second form is further out here. The first form is the meditation. So again, this is all a byproduct, and it's not really the focus, but it's the art. So you have to be able to defend yourself and defend other people that are sending incoming. So you can start the third form, Tony. So you'll see the footwork slightly different. So Tony's just about to head off. He's heading off Wednesday back to Hong Kong, and the Grandmaster will get a copy of the DVD, so I'll get everyone to say happy birthday and all the rest of it. I'm sure so Tony's heading off to Hong Kong and Foshan next week, doing a solo, which is always different when you walk into Hong Kong on your own into the clubs there. So it's always a very good, a good yardstick to see where you're at. Okay, so that's the third form. That's known as the secret form, but again, it's all about angles. It's all about geometry, a lot of geometry, and we focus a lot on the triangle. So, and even in the theory of the triangle, where we work on the mind, the body, and soul, and just trying to get that all balanced. That's basically it. And when you do get it balanced, don't do anything. Just let it go and continue on having a balanced life. Basically, is what we're trying to achieve. So from there, then we've got the pole form, which is a pole. Over there. Michael, you look like you're rough and ready. Grab the pole there, mate. Come out and do the pole form. Thanks, Dr. Larry. Okay. The pole form was brought into the system years later. Hence, it'll have a different stance. It's got the horse stance. Just go ahead, Nick. Start off. So the whole idea of the pole form. Which one? Yeah, just go that way. That's right. Yep. Apparently, the story goes that the system from the wooden dummy, which is that thing over there, the moves were changed to learn they swapped it over, and it was the people with the gondoliers. Well, here we got some rednecks. The gondoliers, so the people that use the gondoliers apparently bought this system to the Wing Chun, and then they exchanged that for the wooden dummies. So do the form, Michael. So the whole idea of the pole form, the whole idea of the pole form is to send energy down the pole. Michael. Alright, the next section that we have in the system is the dummy. Okay, if you were to strike someone with the boxing or so forth, you would hit it very hard and it would cause quite a lot of damage on the outside. With the Wing Chun it's different. You're ejecting energy into the person and sending a hydrostatic wave through the body. So it's a whole different concept of defending. And again, it's not the attack, but it's how you counter an attack. Okay, so usually it's you're an inch away. You can, from here, get the same power from this distance as you can if you throw a full strike, because you're sending a hydrostatic wave through the body. Okay, so from here, so you can see it's very on-off, very relaxed. Thanks, man. It's all right. So the whole idea of the energy is you don't see much, but you certainly feel it. So the whole thing is about just letting it be balanced and free. That's the whole idea of the Wing Chun. Again, it's a female art, so it's nothing to be forced. If you're forcing anything, don't do it. Okay, then we got the knife form, which is the last part of the system. Okay, so we do applications, Nico. So we do applications. Okay, you come over here. Stand over there. Face me. Okay, so if you take a strike, boom, Gansau, you cover yourself. So from here, boom, this one comes, boom, boom, whatever you're doing, well, you contain the person, but the whole idea is a Gansau, which you cover yourself, and once you make contact lower or upper gate, if you're doing a lower gate, lower, boom, then from here, you can, once you make that contact, you don't let go. Before you worry about this universe, you got to be connected with your own. And again, it's just all about peace of mind, being relaxed. Thanks, Nico. So the idea, they're just some Gansau's. So what you'll learn in the knives is an extension of a basic Gansau. It's the same principle, but it's just an extension. The other one we do is Kwansau's. Kwansau, again, covering. So the idea with this knife form is that I've got a pole, you send a pole in, there's a pole and knife form, but that's another world. So the whole idea of this, when you get to the weapons or the knives, and they're very heavy knives, this pretty full on steel. The whole idea of this is everything you learn in the system initially, then you just extend it. It's an extension of what you already know. Thanks, Fleming. Do some Yaksau, some guide, side ones, that's it. So there's a whole heap of different techniques you can use. Boom, covering your side. And again, it's focusing on someone's attacking, then you counter that, and then what? But the counter will come from once you make the contact. Once you make the contact, then stick. Thanks very much. But you've got to learn absorption, you've got to learn centeredness and connecting with the other person. So the whole idea of this exercise is the Chi Sao. So you can see this position here, what Angela and Fleur did was the Tan Sao, and then they come out with this arm. If they're structured correctly, then they'll get a wedge, a bit like two animals in nature when they link horns. But you're not going to fight on the street. You're not going to fight up the street doing this side. So you roll with the energy. The whole idea, what we're doing here, is 360 degrees. We're covering this area. So if anything comes into this area, one of these structures will be able to absorb that's coming in. So you're covering airtight, waterproof an area that's in front of your torso, in front of your being, and then from these structures you learn to absorb energy and then feel what the other person's doing. If you're both balanced and both centered, what's going to happen is nothing. It's a lot of nothingness. So it's just feeling the other person's. He should be focusing in his meditation, so I should feel where he's going. And you can be blindfolded, that makes no difference, it's all feel. We've been teaching the blind since 2000, this thing called Chi Sao, so you can link. Even from here in the Chi Sao, it can come out to single arm, boom, 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 boom. And then back to Chi Sao, boom. Again, it's very hard to perceive the energy that's going into it. It's a bit like the inch energy, but there's a lot of, they call it gunglik, which is internal, which you send your inch energy. If you try to use muscular or external, it's got to be a different connection because you can't absorb through your stance, on off through your stance, otherwise you're just sending this. So the whole idea is energy will come in and energy will come out. Very relaxed, like the dragon tail, bang at the end. So it's all about big things, is it? The Chi Sao is basically when we go to Russia and China, even though you can't speak the language, you can link with the other person. So your senses are quite heightened when you're in the middle of Russia and there's a big Russian guy who wants to Chi Sao with you. The rule is there is no rules. That's the rule. So it comes back to being balanced within yourself and not being influenced by what's out there. You know, the answer's not out there. You have this perception of what it is and it creates a whole uncenteredness within yourself. So it's very important to maintain your centeredness even while you're getting whacked in the head. It doesn't matter. You don't change your focus. So the first part that we saw Sifu, Angel and Fleur do, that meditation part, is the most important part. That's where you'll find your freedom. That's where you'll be able to be at peace of mind, and you'll learn things like if you got into the meditation, you might have issues from the past. Then we'll work on acknowledging it, accepting it, forgiving it, you know, trying to keep balance between the mind, body and soul. So if you're, as we said in Adelaide, a couple of the guys were overweight, and it says, okay, your mind's in a good place and your soul's in a good place, but you're overweight, so you're trying to go to the gym, you're trying to lift this up, it's never going to happen. So you have to release these two and just find the balance within that. So it's really about letting go, finding some balance for yourself. It's not about who can win a gold medal or anything like that, it's just about peace of mind. If you find you're spending a lot of time with thoughts going over and over and over your head, this art really stops all of that stuff. So you learn to connect with your family, people that you love, often someone that you're prepared to die for. That's the person you'll connect with, and if you've got that connection in life, well then you're not a victim. There's nothing worse than being a victim or being a victim. So you offer up to someone else and make the connection happen. The beautiful thing with Wing Chun is it's real. You know, it's real. Link on, you can feel it. It may not be a visual art, but you certainly feel it. And when you release it, it's a wonderful way to communicate. Dr. Larry is, as I said, from China with the Chinese people, because I'm just useless at speaking the language. And we just recently went to the Russians, but it's the same language. It's just linking, and if you've got a balanced state of being, that will have a huge influence on what's coming in. Just like people walking up the street, meeting someone up the street, but if you're very standoffish going, that's not a real good quality of life. So it really is just about letting go and saying some truth to yourself, and you're pretty free, you know. It's a very special thing. All right, so that was the Chi Sao, that's basically art. So I'll give you all guys just a link up, do some Chi Sao while I'm talking. Yeah. Link up, have a link. Okay, so you see the Chi Sao, so it's a wonderful thing. Don't talk, just Chi Sao. Don't talk. So it's a very, it's a great way to connect with people that you might not. It's all about cultural exchange. So this thing that we call Chi Sao is you link, and remember when you link, you can do anything you want to do. And they do try many different things, and if it doesn't work, don't do it. All right. So you can see everyone should be focusing like in their own meditation and then sharing the experience with the other person. So it really is all about just having a good time, basically. Thank you very much for turning up. We'll have a big feed in a second, but it's more so just celebrating the Grandmaster's 93rd birthday, cultural exchange, and all the rest of it. All right.